Hi guys, Vivian here, sister from Cebu. I love you, baby.
Why can't my Filipina girlfriend come visit me in the U.S. or anywhere in the West? Actually, the answer to that question is she can, but she has to get a visa first, and that's where the difficulty comes in. Um, a Filipino in general, can get a tourist visa and come visit the U.S. The problem is that there are 100,000 plus, maybe as many as a million Filipinos in the United States that have overstayed tourist visas. And actually, they have I think it's Tagalog, they have a slang phrase for it. It's called Tago Nang Tago. And Tago Nang Tago means hiding in hiding. So once they come, they overstay their visa, and then they're hiding from authorities every time after that. You know, there's a big debate in the United States about illegal immigrants and all that kind of stuff. And this is those 100,000 plus that have overstayed their visa are part of that debate as well. The hard part is getting the visa. And to get a tourist visa, well, first of all, the immigration law is very complicated. It was written by Congress, right? So it's going to be extremely complicated document, an extremely complicated law. They have the involvement of two U.S. government bureaucracies, the Homeland Security Department with USCIS, which is the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, and also the Department of State, which maintains the embassy in Manila and State Department and National Visa Center in New Hampshire. And so the job of all these folks is to simply comply with the law, with the immigration law that's written. So part of their job is to weed out any fraud. And if you apply for a tourist visa and your intention is to come to the U.S. and get married, then you're actually committing fraud. A tourist visa is exactly that, a tourist visa. So the process of applying for the visa, you pay the visa fee, you fill out the forms, and then you're going to go to an interview with a consular officer. And the consular officer at the embassy in Manila is going to be looking very, very closely. And what they're really looking for is not so much should they let you into the United States. They want to know that that person is going to go back to the Philippines. So they're looking very closely at what kind of family ties they have, what kind of property they own, what kind of money they have in the bank, what is their reason for returning to the Philippines, what's to prevent them from overstaying their visa and staying in the United States. And that is the difficult hurdle that your average Filipina has when applying for a tourist visa to come visit her boyfriend in the United States, okay? That's the big one. So now it is possible, and if she has substantial holdings in the Philippines, real property, bank accounts, a good job, a good family, then it's very possible. It's possible for her to get a tourist visa. A couple of things to keep in mind. If you fall into that situation, make sure you don't use any fixers to provide any of the documents that she needs to take to State Department. Yeah, these guys see through this stuff. They see it every day. So make sure that all the documents are up front. They're original copies that she brings to the interview, okay, and they're true copies. And there really aren't any shortcuts here. And as a matter of fact, this is one of the things that Vivian's kind of stressing over this right now because her visa interview for an immigrant visa, which is a different type of visa, but her interview is coming up here in November, and she's really stressed out about it. But the immigrant process is different than the tourist process, so I really don't think Vivian has very much to worry about. but a tourist visa is a much more tenuous situation. Anyway, so an immigrant visa is kind of a different beast. It's not the same as a tourist visa. An immigrant visa, it's very upfront that she's coming to stay in the United States. So if they don't have to worry about her overstaying her visa is for her to stay in the U.S. So in the case of Vivian and I, since we're married, we're doing the CR1. And in the case of others, like if you have a fiance and you want to immigrate her to the U.S., you would use the K1 visa. But here we're specifically talking about tourist visas. Also, understand that if you're attempting to get your girlfriend a tourist visa and your intention is to keep her in the U.S., maybe get married while she's here, then you are committing immigration fraud. And so you better be careful with that. The other thing is, and this is one that I've had experience with from some of the other viewers, don't send her the money. Say, I think the visa fee is $160 or something like that right now. So don't send her the money to go down and get a visa when it's not very likely that she's going to get one. So once again, she has to have significant interest in the Philippines that are going to convince that consular officer to grant her a visa. He's got to feel, he or she, whoever the consular officer is, has to feel like your girlfriend is going to return to the Philippines. And if they suspect for 1 second that that's not the case, that visa will be denied and that $160 is wasted. The other thing I've heard of is a request from the girl to, say, loan her 20 grand or something like that to put in her bank account so that she can show she has a substantial amount of money in the bank. But the consular officers know about this, and actually it would be really stupid to do that, because if you're not married, there's no long-term relationship built. You just drop 20 grand in the bank and she has control of it and you don't. That's a whole nother story. That's another accident waiting to happen, like the guy who bought his girlfriend a house. So, but the consular officers are going to know. They're going to call the bank and they're going to check. Oh, how long has she had this 20 grand in the bank? Oh, it was just deposited last week, huh? Denied. Okay. So the chances of your girlfriend getting a tourist visa to come visit you in the U.S. are very slim, very, very slim. And whatever you do, don't send any money for that purpose, for the purpose of her obtaining a visa, unless you're absolutely, absolutely sure that it's highly likely that she'll get it. The other way to look at that is if she has enough money and property in the Philippines to convince the consular officer that she will return to the Philippines, then she should be able to afford the $160 for the visa. So that's another way to look at it, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. Up there somewhere is that subscribe button. Please click subscribe to join us. We'd love to have you join us. Subscribers get the benefit of being alerted when a new video is released. And we do about 2 videos every week. So we'd love to have you join us. Feel free to comment in the comments section below. Keep it appropriate, please, but feel free to comment. We're building a nice community here of folks interested in the Philippines and those with Filipina wives. We'd love to have you join with us. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.